technology to help out communities in Puget Sound. The nonprofit Digital Aid Seattle is offering underserved communities free tech tools to make the modern age accessible to everyone. So we're joined by Seamus Brew, the founder and a volunteer for Digital Aid in Seattle tonight. And thank you for being here, Seamus.
Thanks, Devera.
Well, first, I'd like to start off and ask you, how do you define the digital divide?
There are many different digital divides. For us, it's a digital divide between for-profit companies and not-for-profit companies. So not-for-profit companies frequently don't have the fundamental building blocks that for-profit companies know are required to succeed today.
How did you initially identify this need in the community? Where did that come about? It's been about 2 years, right?
It's been a little bit over 2 years now, and we started out by trying just to help. It was a very humble effort initially, and we soon discovered that the funding structures for nonprofits result in the inability to acquire just the most basic fundamental tools that they need to be able to serve their missions.
Yeah, and you guys have already helped so many amazing organizations, social issues, addressing social issues from homelessness, equity. Talk about some of these amazing community organizations that you're stepping in to help and how you're exactly doing that in a digital way.
So the organizations that we're helping are inspirational and impressive and doing things that are worthy of the amount of passion that we can give them. But so these organizations are like Anything Helps, that brings mental health care to folks that are homeless and struggling with drug addiction. These are Plymouth Housing, providing housing first for people so that they can satisfy the fundamental levels of their hierarchy of needs before they are asked to start to build sufficiency themselves. So the organizations are doing really impressive things. What we do for them is really simple and not very exciting stuff. It's putting.
But it's important. It's important, Seamus. I'm not going to let you minimize this because we've talked about this, and it's not something people think about. Just because it's not really glamorous or pointed out often, it's still needed.
Absolutely. And in fact, the characteristic that it's not very exciting results in the challenge of these organizations, these nonprofits, to find the money, to get these tools, because it's easier to fund the aspects of nonprofits that touch beneficiaries. When I donate $1 to feed hungry people, I generally think as much of that dollar I want to get into the mouths of the hungry people, and yet there are a lot of different steps that are between that dollar and getting that food in the mouth. And so those nitty-gritty building blocks to create an organization that is robust, resilient, sustainable, to make sure that the people that work in it don't have to be martyrs in order to do that work, that takes some of that operational infrastructure that for-profit companies have, not-for-profit companies frequently lack.
And that's the key, that operational infrastructure. So give us a specific example for people at home who may not be familiar. Maybe give us a little tidbit of a project you're working on right now and how you're helping them.
Sure. Just the ability to let's say, manage the physical inventory that Plymouth Housing has, where they might get donations of socks and toothbrushes and things like that. When they are running buildings that serve thousands of people, that's a lot of different stuff. And so to build a physical inventory management system makes that process much more efficient.
Wow, so you're building the technology to help kind of log and make sure we're not losing product, losing money.
Yeah.
Of course, we have had controversies in the past of where is this money going, and this is beneficial so we have more eyes on this data.
Yes, and it started there. It started with that humble effort just to serve small individual applications. But since then, with our discoveries, it's grown beyond that. Because technology can be repurposed over and over again, once you create the technology, the effort to spread it out to more people is much simpler and cheaper and less expensive. And so now what we'd like to do is make sure that the technologies that we build for specific organizations locally can be available to any nonprofit for free.
That's amazing.
The entire sector.
I'm going to throw a little tech term on you, copy and paste. We're copy and pasting. Okay, finally, how can people get involved? Who do you need? What kind of volunteers are you looking for right now?
A lot of people think that to work at a tech company, you have to be a technologist. We do need technologists, we benefit from that, but any of the common things that an organization needs, marketing, HR, finance, etc., we need those folks as well. So volunteers are desperately needed and welcomed.
Seamus Brew, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for everything you're doing for the community.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having us.
Of course.